we've talked a lot about why Ignition is the most powerful state-of-the-art SCADA solution available today. In addition to that, Ignition also lays that foundation for digital transformation. So let's now talk about how Ignition and our company and our ecosystem can become your partners in implementing new technologies and stepping into completely new arenas. From a high level, digital transformation is an enterprise-wide endeavor. You can't achieve the high-level promises when digitally transforming only a part of your organization. And that is why Ignition comes in 3 different editions that cover the whole enterprise from edge to cloud. Ignition Edge brings computing power to the edge of the network and collects data from remote sites, as well as giving you local HMIs on critical assets. On the plant floor, the standard Ignition platform lets you connect to any device and develop all kinds of applications and integrations with different business systems. And Ignition Cloud Edition leverages the power of AWS and Azure, and it makes it easy to create hybrid architectures to really extend your operations to the cloud, especially for providing high-level dashboards and analytics to more people around the world. These 3 layers that we want to provide software at every layer of your operational stack, so you can take advantage of those features and ultimately allow you to solve the pain points that make sense for your organization. So of course, scalable system architectures are a key enabler of digital transformation. And with Ignition, it makes it easy to build any kind of architecture. With Ignition architectures, you can bring data to the cloud, you can leverage the edge, you can separate back-end and front-end developments, you can have a lot of hub and spoke architectures, and a lot more. Architectures like this enable you to solve pain points and leverage your data on-premise, and then bridge that with assets in the cloud in a way that is secure, practical, and provides greater value. It's really the best of both worlds. And when you're looking at digital transformation, again, this has to be an enterprise-wide endeavor, and that you have to have senior leadership who is driving digital transformation, saying that, look, we are all in this together. We've got to bring our OT and IT departments together to understand our overall strategies, and we got to build the right foundation on the plant floor first. Once we have that right foundation, ultimately, that allows us to bring that data up to higher levels, especially being able to look at cloud technologies. And that's where a lot of these new concepts come into place, like unified namespace and digital twins. These are some of the big buzzwords that are out here that we're hearing a lot about today. And Ignition really enables you to gather and transport the data that these require. Ignition enables you to leverage new smart sensors and technologies. It allows you to build data models at the edge, again, to get that single source of truth of your data. It can streamline the data pipeline, especially with leveraging MQTT and Sparkplug to move that data around. And it leverages cloud connectivity to AWS IoT Sitewise or Azure Digital Twin or many other cloud services and other products like Snowflake's database to basically get that data into more places so that you can use that data to make better decisions. All of this requires one foot in 2 worlds, bridging the gap between OT and IT. It's essential to enabling digital transformation, because in order to get OT data beyond the plant floor and out to more of the business, IT needs to be involved. We build Ignition with the knowledge of what is required for the plant floor, as well as what is required on the IT side. Ignition is rooted in OT, and it's certainly trusted at that level because it is based on standards and technologies that we know that we need to trust there. But it is also something that IT departments understand, they know how to manage, they know how it connects to the organization, to their security standards, and they can be brought into that and be one team. Those open standards put you in control of your data, and having a single source of truth lets everyone in the organization see the same data and work off that same base. So now when it comes to scaling, when you need to scale out systems across the enterprise, managing them can become very burdensome. And that's why Ignition gives you easy ways to handle enterprise management. You can add the Enterprise Administration Module, or EAM for short. You could add that to Ignition to easily manage large multi-gateway systems, synchronize projects and resources across the organization, communicate over a secure network, monitor agent health and performance, automate gateway backups and recoveries, and a lot more. Ignition also works with containers and orchestration solutions. So think of Docker and Kubernetes or orchestration platforms like Balena and many others that allow you to use and manage applications as efficiently as possible. So again, ultimately Ignition fits into your architectures, into how you want to deploy systems. That puts you in control, especially of how you want this to work and how you want to manage that going forward. As we said, visualization is important to SCADA, and that's just as true in digital transformation. Ignition makes it easy to create applications throughout the entire organization. And it's great for building customized dashboards from simple to dynamic that make data visible to anyone in your organization, no matter where they are. And this has been a really key part of a lot of companies' digital transformation journeys. It's just that we can't really go and talk about AI and ML again without having this right foundation and getting the data to the right people. Ultimately, just being able to see it on your phones and your smart TVs and your tablets, all just being able to get that data out to more people allows people to be connected to that process. And that is a huge enabler of data-driven decisions. You can also find many free dashboards and applications on the Ignition Exchange. As I mentioned that before earlier, it is a free open source sharing site where people build something in Ignition and they can share it with the entire Ignition community. So they can upload that. And there's a lot of great resources up there, including some of the dashboards you see here on screen today that you can just take and use in your projects. So we're really committed not only to providing the best software platform, but providing resources and ways for the community to share and share stories and share things that they've done to ultimately enhance those projects and allow things to move forward, especially as you get new ideas and new projects that come down. Okay, so we do have to talk about AI and ML, of course, right? In terms of laying that right foundation allows us to go further. So currently there is an explosion of new tools like AI, ML analytics that are making use of data and protocols that allow you to transfer data easily. Ignition SCADA functions as a foundation to implement all of these technologies from the bottom up and to bring these tools into reach for everyone. That's because Ignition has many low-code tools for analyzing, visualizing data. For example, it's great for monitoring system assets and status, historical trending, reporting, and alarm notification. And you can also use Ignition's built-in Python libraries to create scripts for data analysis and machine learning. But of course, not only can you do some of that inside of Ignition, you also want to tie into other tools that are out there as well. You leverage our strategic partner, SeerSync, to their cloud injector modules to get data into third-party analytics and ML tools on leading cloud platforms. So it's really about getting the data to where it needs to go, whether you're handling it solely in Ignition or whether you're bringing in these third-party tools to do a lot more. In true inductive automation fashion, though, we've also gone deep in removing limits. That's why we built in a module software development kit, or SDK, to make it easy to do deep extensions and customizations for Ignition. For example, you can use it to add your own scripting or expression functions, add new components to Ignition, add new tag providers or device drivers, or really anything that you want. We take the training wheels off and let your team fly. The sky is the limit. And this SDK is completely free, and you can leverage it. You may not need to do that, but the idea is that the platform is set up to not only with the licensing let you keep adding on, but with the ability for you to even extend the functionality of Ignition even further to areas that it hasn't, that it may not have been in before. Okay, so with all that being said, in terms of digital transformation, I want to share another success story about a company that really shows how modern technologies can elevate long-established processes. The customer was a 150-year-old SAINT-GOBAIN piping plant in the UK, and they worked a system integrator based in France called 2GI Technology. The system encompasses nearly 10,000 tags over 30 screens and 12,000 rows of historical data per day. By using Ignition and a hub and spoke architecture, the plant transitioned from paper-based processes completely to digital, and they now have real-time data access and production monitoring. They were able to leverage Ignition's open standards to connect with third-party systems like their SAP ERP system and even some VAX architectures that were designed in the 70s. So really about pulling all of these disparate systems together. They achieved traceability by placing an RFID tag in the surface of the pipe that can withstand high temperatures. They combine this with Ignition's ability to collect and aggregate data in real time from various points on the production line. And after 15 years of attempts, This allowed them to track the detailed production of each pipe in real time. They merged their SCADA, MES, track and trace, and quality control systems all onto one platform, and Ignition's visualization tools allowed them to create responsive HMIs that operators can control on the go. And they were able to test, upgrade, and roll out new systems without impacting any of the plant productivity. This really shows that even long-established systems or systems that have been in place for a very long time can be modernized, and especially with leveraging a lot of the new technologies that exist here today. And Ignition is a big enabler of being able to allow you to get to that.